Tanisi niti inuak. Anot asamina kiwi kiskinoaha matina wow apisis nêhiyâwewin. Tanisi ka ituein atit nêhiyâwewina. Tanisi niti inuak anot asamina kiwi kiskinoaha matina wow apisis nêhiyâwewin. Tanisi ka ituein atit nêhiyâwewina. Translates to, hello my fellow First Nations. Today I'm going to teach you a little bit more how to say some Cree words. Here's the word list for above. So this list that I have here, yes, I didn't add it to my basic phrase, but it's also with all the translations on the headings of each, how would you say, word list that we're doing. Okay, again, word list is nêhiyâwewin, nêhiyâwewin. He, she, it is doing the action. Nêhiyâwewin. So I'm going to use this one as your example. I know I should have been writing this, but you will also hear just this a lot of times, nêhiyâwewin, without the E, especially if you listen to Cree speakers. Nêhiyâwewin or nêhiyâwewin, same thing, but that's because a lot of Cree speakers, what they do is they collapse the sound system when you're listening to them. Okay. He, she, it, not to do that action. Kawia, egose, ka itota. No, kawia, egose, ka itota. Kawia, egose, ka itota. So you hear two different sounds here. Again, I'm going to go and use this itota, ka itota, or ka itota. And but now, ekwa. He, she, it is alone. Beakot. Or maybe more. Ahpu aiwak. Ahpu aiwak. Or maybe more than two persons. Ahpu aiwak nisijik. Ahpu aiwak nisijik. These are two persons. Nisijik. So going into this one with this one, I used my own example on how I was saying it in my mind by collapsing. So this one is collapsed. I just deliberately left the E out because you'll hear that, okay, to this one. He, she, it is describing what the other person is doing. Ewi ta kik kigwe ana kotak. Ewi ta kik kigwe ana kotak. They are describing what the persons are doing. So, or here, I was gonna go into this one here. So here, one person, and these are two or more. E witahkik kikwe ana kotakik e totahkik. E witahkik kikwe ana kotakik e totahkik. So that IK ending makes that change of two or more. And you'll hear it on this one. Or there is more than two persons together. Kachi aiwak enisijik. Kachi aiwak enisijik. How to say it? Ka isi itwek. Ka isi itwek. More Qu'Appelle. Qu'Appelle. Teach Kiskinwa hamage. There are two of them, or maybe more than two of them. Enisijik kachi aiwak enisijik. Enisijik kachi aiwak enisijik. Two or more people speaking, or two or more speaking. Niso aiwak bigisquejik. Niso awiak bigisquejik. Made them error on the first one. Niso aiwak bigisquejik. Two or more doing the action. Niso kotagak kotakik totakik. Niso kotakik totakik. One other person doing the doing the action. Peyak kotak itotak. Peyak kotak itotak. Hello, how? Danise, danise. How to say it when there is two or more than two. Danise ka isi ituek niso kaji aiwak. Danise ka isi ituek niso kaji aiwak. Okay, here, let me see if I can fix this somehow. Okay, how to tell someone. Danisi ka isi wi tama wat awiak. Danisi ka isi wi tama wat awiak. With this one, like I said, I was just doing the translations the way I thought of them. When to do the action. Danispi ka itotahkik. Danispi ka itotahkik. Where? Danite. Danite. I'm just going to share more here. On Cree speakers, Korean fluent speakers, I guess I was using that approach when I was doing these translations on what I was trying to explain on how to say this, how do we explain this, on what you're trying to teach. Because I'm going to use the term to tell a Cree speaker, teach indicative statements. They're going to look at you and don't be surprised if they don't swear at you, but they won't know what you're talking about or what you're referring to when you talk about teach indicative statements. So what I did was I used the terminology to try and explain to a Cree speaker to teach. Say for instance, I'm the speaker, I'm talking to someone and I'm referring to the third person on what is she, or the third person, or even referring to the animal on what they are doing. And this is how you would say this statement. So here, this terminology is all translated above, but this is how you would say it to a Cree speaker to be able to try and get them to explain, well, how do you say it if you're the speaker, you're talking to somebody and you're referring to the third person. Again, in Cree, we don't use personal pronouns of he, she, it. If you ever listen to Cree speakers when they're saying he, they could say he, but they really sometimes they are really referring to she. And they make that common mistake all the time because we don't have that personal pronoun within our language. It's the same terminology we use to refer to he, she, or it, meaning referring to any living thing. Animals, plants, birds, anything. Okay? So, and then here, again, yes, I was told to translate the ing form. Again, I'm going to go into Cree speakers, fluent speakers. They use both terminologies on what they call indicative and subjunctive. Yes, she wrote indicative statement on it, but in my understanding, the ing form is, I'm getting more complicated here, is the conjunct form. So I added both of them to be able to hear Cree speakers speaking the language on it. Okay, so here again I used, this is the only time I only translated it in the two terms you would use it in English. Okay, he, she, it is entering, or he, she, it enters. Depending on the understanding of Cree speakers, they can use any of these ones, depending on they know how to use the statements on however they add different terminology to it. Here, okay. I'll stop there. I know I can explain it more, but it's going into more grammatical structure or linguistic terminology. Okay. Pihtigweo, pihtigweo, or you'll hear pihtigwet, pihtigwet. He, she, it is sitting a pew, or a pit, a pit. He, she, it is sitting down, nahapiu, nahapiu, nahapit, nahapit. He, she, it is going home, kiweo, kiweo, kiwet, kiwet. He, she, it is leaving, sipueteo, sipueteo, sipuetet, sipuetet. He, she, it is sleeping, nepau, nepau, or nahapit, nahapit. No, my mistake. Okay. Going back, he, she, it is sleeping, nepau, nepau, or nipat, nipat.
Oh.
I was ahead of myself. Okay, 1 point. 5 points so far. He, she, it is quiet. Kiyamapu, kiyamapu, or kiyamapit, kiyamapit. He, she, it is speaking Cree, nêhiyâwewin, 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 nêhiyâwewin. He, she, it is eating, mijisu, mijisu, mijisot, mijisot. He, she, it is going outside, wayawiu, wayawiu, or wayawit, wayawit. There's two terminologies used for this one that would be the same as when you were commanding somebody to go outside. Itohteo wayawitemik. Itohteo wayawitemik. Itohtet wayawitemik. Itohtet wayawitemik. He, she, it is saying it. Itweo. Itweo. Itwet. Itwet.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to say that, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. So going into another one here is the same thing. He, she is waking up. You can say one is cow, one is cow, or a one is cat, a one is cat, or pe ko pa you, pe ko pa you, e pe ko pa it, e pe ko pa it. He, she, it is standing, ni pa wiu, ni pa wiu, or e ni pa wit, e ni pa wit. That W makes you have a different sound. He, she is coming here. Uta pe itohteo, uta pe itohteo, or uta e pe itohtet, uta e pe itohtet. So here, teach plural sentences, so meaning I am the speaker, I'm talking to somebody, I'm talking about or describing what those two or could be two or more possible people doing the action on it. So this is what translates to it. Again, you can go back on the word list from the beginning and refer to this one. Okay. Giskinwa hamage tanise ka isi itwek niso kaji aiwak niso kututahkik e itutahkik, or niso awiak e pigiskwejik e witahkikikoe ana kutakik e tutahkik. So if speakers hear this, they'll be able to know what they're referring to as a speaker, singular speaker, talking to somebody and referring to the two or more people doing the action. They are entering. Pihtigwewak, pihtigwewak, e pihtigwejik, e pihtigwejik. They are sitting. Apiwak, apiwak, or e apichik, e apichik. They are sitting down. Nahapiwak, nahapiwak, or in nahapichik, in nahapichik. They are going home. Kiwewak, kiwewak, or e kiwechik, e kiwechik. They are leaving. Sipuehtewak, sipuehtewak. E sipuehtechik, e sipuehtechik. They are sleeping. Nipawak, nipawak, or e nipachik, e nipachik. They are quiet. Kiyamapiwak, kiyamapiwak, or e kiyamapichik, e kiyamapichik. They are speaking Cree. Nêhiyâwewin, nêhiyâwewin, or e nêhiyâwejik, e nêhiyâwejik. They are eating. Mi jisuwak, or e mi jisojik, e mi jisojik. I give the same example as when it started at command form. They are going outside. Wayawiwak, wayawiwak, or e wayawichik, e wayawichik. Itohtewak, wayawitimik, itohtewak, wayawitimik. E itohtechik, wayawitimik, e itohtechik, wayawitimik. They are listening. Nitohtamwak, nitohtamwak, or e nitohtahkik, e nitohtahkik. They are saying it. Itwewak, itwewak, e itwechik, e itwechik. They are waking up. One is kawak, one is kawak. Or one is kajik, and one is kajik. Pego paiwak, pego paiwak. Pego paijik, pego paijik.
I wanted to ask this the last one, but Pego Pai, what is that? I've never heard that before.
I've heard both of two of those at the by different speaker. Pegupai is the one that's really, I guess, long ago was used. You're waking them up while they were sleeping. One is ska is more or less, like, you know, still the same thing. They use it nowadays as wake up and get out of bed.
Okay.
If you go into my first lesson of miminal pairs,
Yeah.
they have Pegupai as wake up and Bigupai as be broke. So there's two different terms, and they're, yeah, with those ones.
I'm both.
Yeah, both.
I'm broken sleeping.
Yeah, so, yeah, so it is there. You see it in a different vocabulary list on it. So I used both of them, so, like, you know, you'll hear both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are coming here. Uta pe itohte wak. Uta pe itohte wak. Or you'll hear uta e pe itohte jik. Uta e pe itohte jik. Yeah. So the next one, teach negative, imperative, mode, singular, and plural. Again, if you said this to a fluent speaker, they wouldn't understand what you're talking about. So what I did was I tried to explain as much as I could. You wouldn't believe it. This was kind of hard to do on these terminology. Okay. Kiskin wahamage tanese ka isi wi tamawat awiak e kawia egose ka itota e peyakot ahpu aiwag nisijik kaji aiwag nisijik. So what I'm saying is the speaker is telling somebody not to do that action, or the speaker is telling someone, no, the speaker is telling two or more people not to do that action. Don't enter egawia bihtigwe. Egawia bihtigwe. You all don't enter egawia bihtigwek. Egawia bihtigwek. Don't sit egawia ape. Egawia ape. You all don't sit egawia apik. Egawia apik. Don't go home egawia kiwe. Egawia kiwe. You all don't go home egawia kiwek. Egawia kiwek. Don't leave egawia sipuete. Egawia sipuete. You all don't leave egawia sipuetek. Egawia sipuetek. Don't sleep egawia nipa. Egawia nipa. You all don't sleep egawia nipak. Egawia nipak. Don't eat egawia mitiso. Egawia mitiso. You all don't eat egawia mitisok. Egawia mitisok. Don't go outside egawia wayawi. Or egawia itohte wayawi temek. Egawia itohte wayawi temek. You all don't go outside egawia wayawik. Egawia wayawik. Egawia itohtek wayawi temek. Egawia itohtek weyawi demek. Don't listen. Egawia nitorta. Egawia nitorta. You all don't listen. Egawia nitortamok. Egawia nitortamok.
I'm gonna remember those ones.
Don't listen.
Don't listen, that's why.
Don't say it. Egawia itwe. Egawia itwe. You all don't say it. Egawia itwek. Egawia itwek. I wouldn't want to tell that to kids. They'll probably remember that. Don't wake up. Okay, again, I use both terms. Egawia, one is ka. Egawia, one is ka. Egawia, pe kopai. Egawia, pe kopai. You all don't wake up. Egawia, one is kak. Egawia, one is kak. Or egawia, pe kopaik. Egawia, pe kopaik. Don't stand. Egawia ni pawe. Egawia ni pawe. You all don't stand. Egawia ni pawik. Egawia ni pawik. Okay, teach more negative imperative mode, adding location, and when to do the action. Again, I tried to translate those ones. I changed it a little bit from the Soto instructor's statement, but to help speakers also to be able to identify what is it that you need to teach more of these words. Okay. Kiskinwa hamage gea bitch danise kai ise wi tamawat awiyak e kawia egose ka itota e peyakot ahpu aiwak nisijik kaji aiwak nisijik asiche itwewin tani de egwa tani speak ka itutahkik. Don't sit there. Egawia api egota. Egawia api egota. Don't go and eat over there. Egawia nitawe mitiso egote. Egawia nitawe mitiso egote. Don't leave right away. Egawia sipuete semak. Egawia sipuete semak. You people don't sleep there. I translated this one here. I know it could have been plural form. So, aisiniwak egawia. Spelling. Sorry. 6 points. Okay. Look at this, it's down there. No, I guess, okay. I'm just going to leave it as the way it was, okay? Because you can say it in this form too, instead of adding the verb right at the beginning, the terminology.
Yeah,
okay.
It's down there too, right?
Yeah, so it's down there. So just quickly going into, no, here, okay, here, I had aisiniwak. That's probably why I changed it about. Aisiniwak egawia egota nipak. Because with this one, this word here, egota, I think I was adding them at the end with some of them. But some of them you can change, okay? So, aisiniwak egawia egota nipak. Aisiniwak egawia egota nipak. See, so now again, I changed it before this one. You people don't go there. Ai siniwak e gawia e gota itotek. Ai siniwak e gawia e gota itotek. So I'm just going to stop there, not stop, but sometimes when they call word order, or what they call, what is it called? When you change these ones around, like some of the words could be changed around with speakers and they're meaning the same thing. And say, for instance, I'm going to go use the next one as an example. Here, okay, don't wake up yet. E gawia jesqua waniska. E gawia jesqua waniska. So here you can also hear e gawia waniska jesqua. You can always hear that one.
Can move those around.
Yes, can move those around. Okay. So and the other one is e gawia jesqua begopai. Again, you can hear e gawia begopai jesqua on that one. Don't stand there. E gawia e gota ni pawe. E gawia e gota ni pawe. Don't come here. E gawia ota pe itohte. E gawia ota pe itohte. You people don't leave right away. Ai siniwak e gawia sipuetek semak. Ai siniwak e gawia sipuetek semak. I guess ego seki toamina. So just going back into the word order of these ones, there is some that can be changed around. You'll hear it at the you'll hear it after the verb, or when you go into the different statements, sometimes you can hear it at the beginning. But again, speakers just know, fluent speakers just know how to use them on it. Okay, it would be good, again, going into, since all our languages are dying, we're losing our languages, and we do have Cree speakers, Soto speakers, Nakota, Dakota speakers. Only if we were taught, or if they're able to use their language, even just basic forms of teaching somebody, they can do it. Because when I think about it and I try and listen to speakers, I'm always going to use my Aunt Margaret Mosquito, to where she's 85 years old now, and she's raising a 9-year-old girl, Carissa. And when you sit there and you listen to her and she's speaking to her in just basic form, basic words, on telling her what to do, and that little girl understands, even if it's just like, words. And I always think, so I turn around when I see my grandkids, when they come and visit, I try and use the same form, just using terms like astamote, using one name, or if I'm going to use astamik and I'll use 2 names. It's something we as kids, we as the old kids, were probably taught in that way. And that's how we understood our language, because our first language was Cree. And we didn't learn English until probably grade 1, 2, and yet we went to school in kindergarten. But we can do it. All of us speakers, as First Nation speakers, we can practice using our language to revive it, to revive our languages. Like, when I'm talking about languages, I'm Cree, Soto, Nakota, Dakota. and Lakota within Saskatchewan here. Egose, Kituamina.
Yeah.